Hey guys, Travis here with Doublelift on the sixth week of the LCS Day 2. Doublelift, who's now 0-3 for the weekend. And
Thanks for
also,
inviting me.
yeah, always here for you, bro. Also had a bit of drama over the weekend with one of his favorite people, Chaox. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. He's eating an apple right now, so he's somewhat distracted. But
What do you want me to say about that?
I don't know. I sometimes you make some comment, and then if the microphone's not pointing at your face, nobody hears
Oh,
it.
okay, okay.
So I just just to make sure, that I catch it. Yeah, but the was fine. That's
Okay,
worked.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's
So this is our we do an interview every week, and this is this week's interview. And so we're just starting off. So anybody, no one's missed anything yet who might have just walked into the room. But yeah, there's a kissing sound coming out from somebody in here. One of your fangirls. Anyway, let's start off with the obvious. Why are you guys 0-3 for the weekend? You guys struggled, I think, at Dallas. Obviously, there you were just playing with a sub, but you guys are having a rough time. So what's up?
so. For the 2 weeks leading up to Dallas, we practiced with GG, and we had 3 roll swaps. Then while we were at Dallas for 4 days, and essentially we had 5 days downtime from practice, and we came back. We had 2 days to practice with Chowster again. It's our first week back playing with Chowster again, consistently, and we had 2 days to practice, and we really just tunneled on all the wrong things, and we're just playing absolutely terrible right now. I know that's really embarrassing, and I guess our biggest problem right now is the way we communicate changed. For the 2 weeks we practiced with GG, our communication was really weird. It was like solo queue style where everyone just started making calls,
Yeah.
and because we didn't have a shot caller. And then now Chaucer's back, and we had the same problem at Dallas with our last game with Chaucer, where he is the ultimate shot caller for our team, but we're not after not playing with him for 2 weeks and then only practicing for 2 days. We're not used to
Yeah.
really having his voice take precedent over everyone else's, and I don't know. We have so many problems. It's not even that's not even the biggest one, but it's a large one.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like going into the season, you guys were one of the favored teams. I think right now you guys are sitting at number 4 or whatever.
Yeah.
So is it just I know in this specific situation it's like a communication thing, right?
Yeah.
But it feels like something's going on with you guys across the whole season, like that you're sort of in the middle of the pack, like, and at the very end of last year, you guys had pretty big success. In fact, a lot of people thought that you were sort of, I mean, you pretty much for a North American team, you kicked ass at IPL 5.
Yeah.
And Aframu coming in instead of Lokadoko is supposed to help a lot, but and not to say that it hasn't. Maybe everybody else has just gotten better, but I mean, what's going on with you across the whole season?
So at IPL 5, this is what people really don't understand. The game changes so much. IPL 5 was a time when jungle and AD were the most important roles in the whole game. Mid and top lane were insignificant compared to how well jungle and AD played. I was playing super well back then. I was really practiced. We played all day every day, and Chauster was as well. Nowadays, AD and jungle is less important, and also I feel like I forgot my roots. So I used to play hyper carries like Caitlyn and Vayne and Kog'Maw on Twitch and stuff like that, and I just absolutely strayed from those things that I'm good at, and I guess it's time to pick those back up.
I mean, I talked to you in the Know Your Role thing a couple of weeks ago, and you mentioned that like Graves is where it's at, and like these guys who aren't the hyper carries, and you said that you felt that just because like a lot of this like super damage, you couldn't do as much damage as you could last year. Now you're saying, and I'm not to call you out on flip flopping or anything. I'm just curious as to what brought on this change of mind in your head, where like now hyper carries are more viable.
So, man, I hate these blanket statements that everyone makes. It's not your fault. I'm just saying it's not about what's best. It's about what's best for the team. And right now, what's best for the team is if I played hyper carries. And obviously, when I say Draven sucks, I have my limited view of how Draven works within our team. And we have practiced with Draven, and Draven sucks for our team. If you think about it, Draven Cho'Gath makes no sense. Draven Galio makes no sense. And so champions like that, that might be good if 5 god robots we're playing are not necessarily good for CLG. And so we just play differently than every other team, as you can see.
All right, so because it's funny because you did mention in that like Draven sucks, and then you've consistently lost to Draven. So you just think it's a matter. Draven doesn't suck. Then is this what I'm hearing?
Draven has his uses. I still think I honestly just think he sucks. I'll be perfectly honest. My position on Draven has not changed. The best example is in our game against God, TSM. Yeah, Wild Turtle's playing Draven. Everyone like rides him and whatever. He got first blood on Afro because we misplayed. Then we turned the game around and I was 4-2 against Draven. And now Draven's usefulness is all gone. He is absolutely terrible compared to me on Ez. So I feel like Draven's a bully in lane. And right now, bottom lanes are all like the skill level of every bottom lane is so different. So like Wild Turtle's really good in lane, Cutie Pie's really good in lane, and they can bully people out of lane so hard that they just win the game like that. Yeah. But when it comes down to it, like, and people are much more consistent and used to playing against Draven, it's not going to be nearly as significant.
So we sort of talked about why the team is struggling right now, but I also just want to say, you know, and I say this, you and I are friends, everybody knows that watching, but it seems like your bot lane has also been suffering, right? Like, it's very funny because for a while the community was like, and not to say that everything the community thinks is correct or anything, but I feel like there was a pretty big call. It's like, Hotshot is just not where he needs to be, blah, blah, blah. But it's been really interesting to me because I felt like, specifically this weekend, you and Afro have been kind of throwing stuff down bottom, downstairs in the game, in the map. So, first off, maybe you disagree with that. I think that from the frown that you're making, that might be the case. But, I mean, you guys have consistently died down there really early a game, and it feels like it's been kind of rough.
I'm trying to think about the games. Yeah, we have been playing really poorly. Generally, we only die at like level 2 when people do their gimmicky level 2 all-ins, and yeah, we just suck, man. Honestly, like I'm out of practice. Afro's out of practice. It's not even that we're out of practice. We waste practice time, and we just need to be like a lot more focused. So the best example is we like obviously I'm never lose lane on Vayne, almost never, and like people have been starting to ban Vayne, and Caitlyn is like no longer as good as she used to be because of a lot of reasons. And so like I lost my 2 favorite champions essentially because one got banned, one got like changed, and now I have to learn new stuff, and I'm trying to learn everything at once when really I should just focus on another champion. Like, I don't know why I'm so stupid. My practice time has literally been like, new champion this day, new champion this day, different champion this day, and it's like, why am I wasting my time like that when I can just focus on one? And that's what I need to do.
Yeah, I just want to follow up on that because you said you're out of practice or like you waste practice or whatever, but I do want to sort of mention because I feel like the knee-jerk reaction from that is like, wow, CLG isn't practicing. And that becomes the top.
9 hours a day.
Right.
It's
so
not
that's
about quantity, it's about quality.
Right. So like I'll talk to your manager and he'll say that you guys are practicing from like 2 to 11 or 3 to 11 every day, and you got scrims, you got research, you got replays. So you are still practicing. It's just you don't feel like you're practicing correctly.
Yeah, being out of practice to me does not mean I don't play the game. Being out of practice to me means I didn't play the game in like a quality way where I got a lot better.
So, and do you feel like that extends out across the team or just specifically for you?
I can't speak for the rest of the team. I don't know how they feel, but I know for me, I haven't improved greatly in the last few months, and it's pretty disappointing because I think I like improved leaps and bounds over season 2, and then season 3, I'm just kind of a hiatus.
All right, so for a lot of people who have gone 0-3, and I know at the time you hadn't lost 3 games total, but they'd be a lot more humble about saying something like, see a Chaox when Wild Turtle gets the pentakill, and you were very vocal. I mean, the entire community saw that you had this big, little thing going with Chaox. It's very cute, but somewhat aggressive. So, I mean, do you regret that at all? Do you feel like it is a little too aggressive, or what are your reasons or justifications for sort of calling him out like that?
I guess I do regret it a little bit because it might have been a little over the top, but honestly, Chaox has been really personally disrespectful to me and to my team, and that obviously doesn't fly with me, so I called him out, and I just made fun of him online. I thought it was hilarious. I just thought it was absolutely hilarious, and my team thought it was hilarious too, and yeah, he took personal offense to it, and he responded, and it just like, we had one small back and forth, and that was it. And I think drama like that just, I don't know, I think it's really funny and cool for our fans and viewers to just have like a little bit of attention and stuff. I have justification and reasoning. I don't just randomly like target him and I'm like, oh, I hate this guy. Like, we just don't get along. Like, I don't care for him, and he clearly doesn't care for me, and that's fine. And we'll just always have like a little bit of derogatory comments towards each other.
Yeah. All right, so what do you guys do going back now? Now you go back to the mansion, the house, whatever you want to call it. I've been there. It's more like a house than a mansion. It's a house. No, I mean it's cool. For branding
It's a
purposes,
home.
we'll say it's a mansion.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. But it's pretty cool. It's a pretty big place, and you guys do some practicing there, some scrimming, some talk. So what do you do now to come back from this? How do you stop losing? Because it's somewhat incessant at this point, Doublelift.
Yeah, it is really bad. Over the last 2 weeks, we've went 1-5. God, that is terrible. I think the biggest problem with us is we just didn't practice with Chaucer for 2 weeks. That threw us off so bad. I don't know. That's not an excuse. That's just a reason for why we suck so bad. And we just need to amp up our practice and really just like get back into how well we were performing in the first 3 weeks. I feel like we were doing really well back then. In the first like 3-4 weeks, yeah.
So is this some sort of a lesson for you guys? Like I know he had to go for a wedding, like
Yeah.
it was a big family thing, and I understand there's always this like decision between if you want it, like between family, personal responsibilities, being a pro gamer, etc. So is this just in the future you're going to be more? I don't know. What are your thoughts on it afterwards?
Chaucer's been saying he has to go to this wedding in March since last year when we were in Korea for OGN Invitational. So like we could have. No, there's nothing we could have done. It was an unavoidable thing, and I think there were some last minute schedule changes or something that messed us up, and there's nothing we really could have done. We just made do with what we had, and we failed.
But now you think things should be on the upswing because now you're coming back as a team. Things are getting back together.
Yeah, I actually learned a lot in the last 2 weeks about my own play and about our team's play. Like, I feel like I'm gonna be really, really good if I'm able to consistently practice with our starting roster for a week.
So then, right now, you're pretty satisfied with that, right? Because every time you guys start to go through a lull, there's always this discussion about a roster change, and historically, you guys have been really open to making changes if you felt like it. But right now, you feel pretty comfortable.
Yeah, I feel pretty good. I think I had like the first week or something where I sucked, and in these last few weeks, people, I think I played actually pretty well. Though even though we lost, I played pretty well. And then now I've realized a lot of key, like important things about myself, and I'm just ready to get in there.
So, sort of wrapping up the interview, I've been talking to a lot of different pro players about this. We're coming up on week 7. There's only a couple of weeks left of the tournament, or of the first half, and then in the summer they actually have this All Stars event. And I'm not going to ask you for too many questions because I know Riot's sort of waiting, I think, to give us a lot more info. But they have mentioned it's in China. Is that something that you're really interested in, or is this something that you're kind of But I know you're from China, so.
Yeah, so I'm obviously every player should be super interested in going to AllStar Break. That's like a really great way to represent your country. And it's like a crazy new experience to be able to travel to China with a new team and play against these foreigners. So I'm super excited. I want to test my skills against the world's best, as I have before at IPL 5, and show that I'm better. So I hope it's near the town where both my parents are from, and yeah, I'm just really excited to have the opportunity to go if I'm able to.
All right, so wrapping up the interview, do you have any shout-outs, plugs you want to make, or any statements?
Yeah, shout out to Razor, XMG, Azubu, and GGWP. They've been great to us. And shout out to my fans. Like, even though everyone is like hating me or whatever for what I did, I think it's justified and whatever. I'm just glad I have support, There'll always be people who dislike me for various reasons, and that's whatever to me. I'm just glad I have fans.
Hey, I also want to thank you. I really appreciate the interview. It's been really informative, and I think a lot of other teams aren't really ready yet to talk about talk to interviewers whenever they're in, sort of a downswing. They don't want to discuss it, but I think that it's really great that you've been able to put a lot of information out there about what's going on with CLG. So I appreciate it. For everyone, this is Travis on week 6 of the LCS. You can check out the rest of our coverage at gamespot.com/LCS.